Breaking news coming in. Russian President Vladimir Putin called Prime Minister Narendra Modi and strongly condemned the Pahalgam terror attack that killed 26 people on April 22nd. He has extended full support to India in the country's fight against terrorism and has expressed condolences for the people who lost their lives in the attack. In a post on X, Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Ranveer Jaiswal said that the Russian president has emphasized that those behind the attack and their supporters must be brought to justice. Putin's support to India comes almost 2 weeks after the gruesome terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Pahalgam. The support also comes at a critical time when tensions between India and Pakistan are rising in the aftermath of the attack. And for more on this, we're being joined by our Assistant Editor for Foreign Affairs, Siddhant Sibbal. Siddhant, what can you tell us?
Well, a significant conversation, I would say. The Indian readout is significant. It basically says that President Putin has conveyed his condolences, but he has emphasized, and let me just read the exact comment, that the perpetrators of this heinous attack and the supporters must be brought to justice. That's a very significant statement by the Russian side. And it basically means that full support to the Indian side when it comes to acting on the terrorists responsible for the Pahalgam terror attack. We know that earlier the Russian president had written a letter to the Indian president and to the Indian prime minister. The foreign ministers of both countries spoke over the weekend and basically talked about the situation that has been developing. And essentially for India, the big worry remains that there should not be any repeated acts of terrorism by Pakistani terrorists. Now, Russia is also a permanent member of the UNSC, and the talks come just hours before the UNSC holds a closed-door meeting on the issue, the situation in the Indian subcontinent. Primarily, we know that the Pakistani side had requested for this meeting, given that it's a non-permanent member of the UNSC. And we know that Russia, being a permanent member, could, of course, make sure that there is nothing anti-India that could be raised by the Pakistani side. So a very important conversation, of full support by the Russian side. Russia, of course, has been long-standing partner of India in its worst and in its best. Of course, the Russian support to India in 1971 is well known. The Russian support continues, and this is a relationship that has been the stable relationship in terms of we have seen how changes have happened with India's relationship with other countries. But Russia has been a factor of stability in terms of how the relationship has progressed, whether it is in 1947, 1971, or currently in 2025. So an important conversation. We are also waiting for the Russian readout as well, the Russian readout from the foreign ministers meeting between the Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov emphasized on Shimla Agreement, saying that India-Pakistan should resolve issues bilaterally. Now, that is a statement that basically echoes India's stance. India has always said that Pakistan has to resolve all issues with India directly rather than going through any kind of multilateral organization, including, of course, the UNSC resolutions.
Right, Siddhant. It is a significant development, and as you've rightly emphasized, the timing, which happens to be very crucial, as this comes just hours before the UNSC meeting. We'll be closely tracking the developments on that front, but thank you so much for now for bringing us that report.